Good morning to everyone. Before we start our program for today, may I request everyone in this room to, to put their phone on the silent mode so that the sound will not be distracted to others. Thank you. To our honorable board of judges, SPU school director, head of the HR departments, principals of the different departments, members of the faculty, parents, students, and to all our online viewers. Good morning once again and welcome to our Language Fest 2021 final round competition. Today, we will witness the 5 participants of each category to compete and to fight for the different prizes prepared for them. Without any further ado, let us start our competition with the invocation to be led by Miss Aula, Christian teacher, turn off Muslims teachers, and Mr. Eko, Buddhist. To all teachers, you may proceed to the stage.
Marilah sejenak kita bersama-sama menundukkan kepala, bermunajat kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, agar kegiatan hari ini diberkahi dan bisa berjalan dengan lancar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi rasulillahi ajmain. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, pada hari ini kami memohon kepadamu, berkahilah acara kami. Berkahilah semua langkah dan perbuatan kami, dan jadikanlah itu semua nilai ibadah dan nilai ilmu yang bermanfaat bagi kami. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, Engkau yang maha mempersatukan kami, mohon perkuatlah persatuan di antara kami. Janganlah Engkau biarkan ada perpecahan di antara kami. Kami ingin kuat dalam persatuan itu, agar lebih bermanfaat untuk agama, bangsa, dan negara. Ya Allah, lindungilah kami dari segala mara bahaya, termasuk bahaya wabah virus corona. Selamatkan kami, ya Allah. Rabbana zolamna ampusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil.
Lord Jesus, thank you for today. We are able to gather together to carry out the 2021 language competition. Not because of our strength, but because of your grace, we are able to start our event. Lord, we will soon start our event. Come in our midst and bless the course of our event from start to finish. We pray for all the committees who have prepared this event, that you will bless them, give them health, and shower them with your blessings. We also pray for Pelita Utama School, that you bless every program that is ongoing, so that the school can become a place that is beneficial for students and blessings. We also pray for all the teachers who have taught the students. May you bless them and give them wisdom from you, so that the knowledge given will be a guide for our students. Only into your hands, Lord, we submit our event. In the name of the Lord Jesus, we have prayed. Amen.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Pada kesempatan kali ini, kami Sekolah Pelita Utama sedang merayakan hari ulang tahun Pelita Utama yang kelima. Dan pada kesempatan kali ini, kami juga merayakan English Festival. Semoga acara ini diberikan kelancaran dari awal hingga akhir. Dan semoga kita semua selalu diberikan kesehatan, kebahagiaan, dan kesejahteraan. Semoga pandemi COVID-19 segera sirna. Semoga semua makhluk hidup berbahagia. Sabe sata awantu sukitata. Sadu, sadu, sadu.
Thank you, teachers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone to please stand on for the singing of the Indonesian national anthem, to be followed by the singing of SPU hymn.
Jangan
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and please be seated. And now, may I call on Mr. Arnold Kupo, SPU International Coordinator, to give his opening remarks.
To our headmistress, Ibu Lily, to our school director, Mr. Maizon, to our HR head, Ms. Vivid, principals of the different department, ECE, primary, junior high school, senior high school, Honorable Board of Judges, Dr. Mirna Quinto, FEU Cavite Executive Director, Dr. Harold Veno, Dean Higher Education Department, FEU Cavite, Mr. Matthew Nepomuceno, Senior High School Director, FEU Cavite, Ms. Riet Paunan, Directress of Basic Ed Department, FEU Cavite, Dr. Marcon Espino, PEPUA President, teachers, parents, and students, good morning. Magandang umaga po. Yang terhormat Ketua Yayasan Cahaya Pelita Utama Ibu Lili, Yang terhormat Direktur Sekolah Pelita Utama Bapak Maizon, Yang terhormat Kepala HR Miss Bibid, selanjutnya kepada Kepala Sekolah dari seluruh department, juri-juri yang terhormat, Dr. Mirna Quinto selaku Direktur Eksekutif FEU Cavite, Dr. Harold Beno selaku Dekan dari Departemen Pendidikan Tinggi FEU Cavite, Mr. Matthew Nepomuceno selaku Direktur Sekolah Menengah Atas FEU Cavite, Ms. Riet Paunan selaku Direktur Departemen Pendidikan Dasar, Dr. Marcon Espino selaku PEPUA President, guru, orang tua, dan siswa, salamat pagi. I would like to welcome you to the celebration of the 5th founding anniversary of our school. One of its highlights is the Second Language Fest. Through this activity, we can enhance the communication skills of our students in terms of using English. This is also one way to develop and showcase the talents of our students through the different competitions. Saya ingin menjemput Anda semua di perayaan ulang tahun ke-5 Berdinya Sekolah ini. Salah satu yang menonjol adalah acara Festival Bahasa kali kedua. Melalui kegiatan ini, sekolah dapat meningkatkan kemampuan komunikasi siswa dalam hal menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Hal ini juga merupakan salah satu cara untuk mengembangkan dan menempelkan bakat siswa melalui kompetensi yang berbeda. This annual event inspires and motivates young talents like our students to face the challenges of using English as a tool of communication. This pandemic will not be hindrance to hone the talents of our students and to continue improving their skills with the support and encouragement of their parents, teachers, and SPU community as a whole. I can assure you that you will enjoy every single performance of our students. Acara tahunan ini menginspirasi dan memotivasi talenta muda, terutama siswa-siswa Sekolah Pelita Utama untuk menghadapi tantangan menggunakan bahasa Inggris sebagai alat komunikasi. Pandemi ini tidak akan menjadi halangan untuk mengasah bakat siswa kita dan untuk terus meningkatkan keterampilan mereka dengan dukungan dan dorongan dari orang tua, guru, dan komunitas SPU secara keseluruhan. Saya yakin bahwa semua yang menyaksikan acara ini akan menikmati setiap penampilan siswa-siswi kami. Furthermore, I would also like to say thank you to all the people behind the success of this activity. This is an effort and collaboration of all the talented teachers and staff of Sekolah Pelita Utama, headed by the most beautiful and talented chairwomen of the activity, Miss Anna and Miss Hazel. Lastly, to our headmistress for her kindness and big-heartedness, and to the members of the Board of Judges, we are very thankful for your generosity and in allotting your time to be part of this event. Selanjutnya, saya juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua pihak di balik suksesnya kegiatan ini. Hal ini merupakan upaya dan kerjasama dari seluruh guru dan staf Sekolah Pelita Utama yang bertalenta yang diketuai oleh Miss Anna dan Miss Hazel. Terakhir kepada Ketua Yayasan atas kebaikan dan kebesaran hatinya dan kepada para anggota Dewan Juri. Kami sangat berterima kasih atas kemurahan hati para Dewan Juri dalam meluangkan waktu untuk menjadi bagian dari acara ini. Once again, good morning and good luck to all the participants. Mabuhay! Sekali lagi, selamat pagi dan selamat sukses untuk semua peserta.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold. That was indeed a very good speech of his. Next, to introduce us to the Board of Judges for today's competition, please welcome Ms. Glaiza Marinasa, English teacher, Grade School Department.
Good morning, everyone. I am pleased to present to you our Board of Judges for today's competition. Our first judge is a BS Biology graduate from the College of Holy Spirit, Manila. She finished her Master of Arts in Education, major in Biology from the University of the Philippines. She holds a doctorate degree in Science Education, major in Biology from De La Salle University. She also holds a certificate in Leaders in Education Program, International from Nanyang Technology University in Singapore. She held several administrative positions in the university as Program Head of Biology Department, Dean of the Institute of Arts and Sciences, and Dean of the Institute of Education. She oversees the planning and continuous improvement of FEU academic programs, resulting in its attainment of centers of development and excellence for certain degree programs, and its sustained autonomous university status. She has participated in a number of local and international conferences and workshops related to quality assurance, foremost of which is the ASEAN University Network Quality Assurance Training course held in Bangkok, Thailand. She has initiated several internationalization activities at the university that resulted to a number of student exchange programs, research collaborations, and other academic activities. She has completed a training on internationalization of higher education held in Canada, a collaboration between the Canadian Bureau of International Education and the Commission on Higher Education Philippines. Aside from her administrative position, she is also teaching in the Graduate School of the Institute of Education of Far Eastern University. She is handling courses such as management of the school systems, organizational and supervisory leadership, and program evaluation and development. She is a member of various Philippine organizations, as well as international academic and professional organizations. She has also been invited as resource speaker both in local and international conferences and has papers published in an international journal. Currently, she holds concurrent positions as the Vice President for Academic Development at FEU Manila and the Executive Director at FEU Cavite. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mirna P. Quinto. Our second judge is a licensed professional teacher with the following educational degrees: BS Hotel and Restaurant Management, BS in Business Management, and Master of Arts in Business Administration. He recently finished his PhD in Tourism and Hospitality in Taylor's University, Malaysia, where he also served as lecturer and thesis tutor in the Faculty of Leisure Management and Social Science School of Tourism, Hospitality and Events from 2016 to 2017. At present, he is the Dean of Higher Education Department of Far Eastern University, Cavite. Prior to his recent designation, he is the Director of International Relations Office and former Department Chair of Hospitality and Management in Far Eastern University, Manila. In 2015, he was awarded as Young Outstanding Novo Ecijano of the province Nueva Ecija. In the same year, he is one of the Lingkod Kapwa Awardee for Community Development. He was one of the 50-plus youth across the globe qualified by United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network Global School Program to train teachers to teach sustainable development goals in the classroom. He is a strong advocate of sustainable local, community-based projects towards inclusive growth and development, focusing on food chain, food consumptions, food appreciation, and food cultural preservation in tourism and hospitality industry. This advocacy has translated in his research interests and projects. He was awarded by Sumitomo Foundation with a ₱500,000 research grant for his farm-to-table projects. For this reason, he has been invited in several universities in Southeast Asia to talk about his farm-to-table researches. Furthermore, he holds a position in several national and international organizations serving the community and the global youth. Ambassadors of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Global School Programs in 2018. Country Director of Youth Global Entrepreneurs and SDG Ambassador. Country Director of OYA, International Opportunities for Youth, Board of Directors of Philippines Association of Research in Tourism and Hospitality. Co-founder and head of International Linkage of Humanitarian International and immediate past president of Slow Food Youth Network Philippines. Everyone, our judge number 2, Mr. Harold Bernardo Bueno. Our third judge took his Bachelor of Arts in Secondary Education, major in English as cum laude at the Philippine Normal University, the country's National Center for Teacher Education. He obtained his Master of Arts in Education with a specialization in English language teaching at the same university. Presently, he is taking up his Doctor of Philosophy in Language Education at De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, Cavite. At present, he is the director of the FEU Cavite Senior High School Department. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matthew M. Nepomuceno. Our fourth judge finished her Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Health Education and Chemistry at the University of the Philippines College of Education with Outstanding Student Award. She obtained Master's in Education, major in Measurement and Evaluation in 2012. She held various positions in Miriam College Graduate School from 2008 to 2016. She received awards from Center for Education Measurement Scholarship in 2011 and from the We Love You Foundation Scholarship South Korea in 2012. She has been a Science Club moderator and Social Action Club moderator, Environmental Studies Institute Unit Representative, a Science, Math and Technology Area Supervisor, a Science Laboratory Instructor Peer Teacher, iCode and iBuild Engineering for Kids Internal Club Moderator in Miriam College Grade School, Quezon City. At present, she is the Directress of Basic Education Department in FEU Cavite. Our fourth judge, Ms. Reyet S. Paunan. Our fifth judge graduated in 1998 with a degree in commerce, major in management as summa cum laude. He began teaching at the Institute of Accounts, Business and Finance of FEU. Aside from being a faculty member, he was given assignments as advisor of different student organizations, chairperson of various institute committees, and coach of student teams who competed locally and internationally. He then became the program head of IABF's management department. Alongside his academic and administrative duties, he continued his educational journey and completed his MBA in 2001 with distinction and Doctor of Education in 2005 with highest distinction. He earned his academic degrees from FEU Manila beginning the second quarter of 2007. He was assigned to the Office of the Student Affairs and Community Services as Coordinator for Student Leadership and Development. After 6 years, he was promoted as the Director of the university's Alumni Relations and Placement Services. From his Manila stint, he was appointed in 2016 as College Dean of FEU Cavite's Higher Education Department, and later became the school's Executive Director in 2019. He is active and has held key positions in various external organizations. Currently, he is the Director and Secretary of the Philippine International Friendship and Understanding Association and the Association of Advocates Against Drug Addiction. He also served the Philippine Association of Administrators of Students Affairs as its Regional Vice President and chaired Region 4 Special Committee on Flexible Learning as its core member. As a passionate servant, educator, and advocate, he was invited to various events and functions as a resource speaker, trainer, facilitator, organizer, presenter, interviewer, evaluator, and volunteer, where he shared his talent, expertise, and experience. He attended various training programs as he believes in continuous improvement to serve people and organizations better. Our fifth judge, Dr. Marcon R. Espino. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gleiza. Next, we're going to proceed to the reading of criteria for judging to be presented by Ms. Allen Filones, English teacher, Grade School Department.
Good morning, everyone. This competition has 4 categories: home recitation for early childhood, storytelling for grade 1 to 6, declamation for junior high school, and impromptu speaking for senior high school. The winners shall be judged based on the following criteria: For poem recitation, presentation, 40%. Manner of delivery, 30%. Memorization, 30%. For storytelling, presentation, 30%. Characterization, 30%. Manner of delivery, 30%. Use of space, 10%. For declamation, characterization, 30%. Voice mechanics, 30%. Body movements, gestures, facial expressions, 20%. Overall presentation, 10%. Audience perception, 10%. Impromptu speaking, content, 30%. Manner of delivery, 30%. Organization, 20%. Overall presentation, 10%. Audience perception, 10%. To all finalists, good luck and God bless.
Thank you, Ms. Ellen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. The performance of the 5 from each level, from early childhood education, TK, to senior high school or SMA departments. Let us start with the poem recitations from the early childhood education or the TK departments. First to perform is from K2 Attentive, Arsen Khalifa Ramadan. Next is from K2 Attentive, Dominic Maraville. Then followed from K2 Brave, J. Ron Hudson Hu. After that is from K2 Determined, Leonardo Tan. And lastly, from K2 Confident, Jason Tan.
by calories brown. In the heart of a sea, very deep, so deep, a dear little plant lay fast asleep. Wait, says the sunshine, and cling to the light. Wait, said the voice of the raindrops bright. The little plant heard and rose to see what the wonderful outside world might be. Thank you all. As you all read the poem, stay happy and healthy. Bye-bye. The Little Plant by Cat Louis Brown. In the heart of a sea, very deep, so deep, a dear little plant lies fast asleep. Wait, said the sunshine, and creep to the light. Wait, said the voice of the rainbow bright. And the little plant heard, and he grew to see, and what a wonderful outside might be. My name is Cheryl. Bye bye. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Hi, my name is Leona Notan. Today I'll be reciting a poem. The title of the poem is Little Plant by Cat Louis Brown. In the heart of a sea, very deep, so deep, the little plant lay fast asleep. Wait, said the sunshine, and cleave to the light. Wait, said the voice of the raindrops bright. The little boy heard, and this rose to see what the wonderful outside world might be. The little plant. The Little Plant by Kate Louis Brown. In the heart of the sea, very deep, so deep, a dear little plant lay fast asleep. Wait, says the sunshine, and cling to the light. Wait, says the voice of the raindrops bright. The little plant heard, and he burst to see on a wonderful world outside might be. The little plant.
All right. Wow, that was a very entertaining and amazing performances from our TK students. And now it's time for our grade school or SD finalists, group 1 and 2, to present their piece in storytelling. Here are the top 5 finalists from grade 1, 2, and 3. We will start off with Juan Mars from grade 1 Courage, followed by Matthew Ng from grade 1 Hope, and then Akila Faranisa Prasetyo from grade 2 Honesty. Next is Abigail Young from grade 1 Faith, and then lastly Christina Farista from grade 1 Love.
Hello everyone, my name is Juan Mars. Today I am going to tell a story about the Great Palace of Lights by Pedro Pablo Sacristan. Once upon a time, all the spirits set about building two palaces, a palace of truth and a palace of lights. Every time a child told the truth, a brick was created for the palace of truth. The spirits of truth would then take it and add it to the growing walls. In just the same way was the palace of lies built. Each brick was created when a child told a lie. Both palaces were impressed, the best in the world, and each group of spirits worked hard to try to make sure their own palace was best. So much so that the lying spirits, who were much more tricky and deceitful, sent a group of spirits to the world to get children to tell more and more lies. These spirits were successful and started getting many more bricks. As a result, their palace became bigger and more spectacular. But one day, something strange happened in the Palace of Lights. One of the bricks turned into a cardboard box. A little later, another brick turned into sand. And then another turned into glass and smashed. And so, little by little, it became clear that whenever a lie was discovered, the brick that it had created changed its form, was crushed, and finally disappeared. In this way, the Palace of Lies became weaker and weaker, and in the end, it completely fell to pieces. At this, everyone, including the lying spirits, understood that you cannot use lies for anything. They are never what they appear to be, and so you never know what they will turn into. Okay everyone, this is the end of the story. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. all my teachers and all my friends. How are you today? I hope all of us are in good condition and healthy. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Matthew. I am from grade 1 of Pelita Utama School. Today, I want to tell you a story about great valleys of lies. Do you want to hear? Let's start! Once upon a time, all the spirits set about building two palaces. A palace of truth and a palace of lies. Every time a child told the truth, a brick was created for the palace of truth. The spirits of truth would then take it and add it to the glowing walls. In just the same way was the palace of lies built. Each brick was created when a child told a lie. Both palaces were impressive, the best in the world, and each group of spirits worked hard to try to make sure that their own palace was the best. So much so that the lying spirits, who were much more tricky and deceitful, sent a group of spirits to the world to get children to tell more and more lies. These spirits were successful and started getting many more bricks. As a result, the palace became bigger and more spectacular. But one day, something strange happened in the palace of lies. One of the bricks turned into a cardboard box. A little later, another brick turned into sand. And then another turned into glass. And smash! And so, little by little, it became clear that whenever a lie was discovered, the brick that it had created changed its form, was crushed, and finally disappeared. In that way, the palace of lies became weaker and weaker. And in the end, it completely fell to pieces. At this, everyone, including the lying spirits, understood that you cannot use lies for anything. They are never what they appear to be, and so you never know what they will turn into. What is the moral that we learn of the story? Imaginative comparison to explain why you cannot achieve anything worthwhile with lies, because sooner or later the truth will come out and the whole structure collapse. Also applies to adults. Sincerity is very important to our life. Yeah. Thank you for your attention and see you next time. Hi to the teachers of Pelita Utama School, my classmates and friends who are now watching this live stream, to our dear judges who spend their precious time with us, and my fellow contestants, a pleasant morning to all of you. I'm Akila Faranisa Prasetyo from grade 2 Honesty. I'll be sharing a story about the great palaces of lies. Are you ready to listen? Alright, let's start! The Great Palaces of Lies by Pedro Pablo Sacristan. Once upon a time, all the spirits said about building two palaces, a palace of truth and a palace of lies. Every time a child told the truth, a brick was created for the palace of truth. The spirit of fruit will then take it and add it to the growing wolf. In just the same way was the palace of flies built. Each brick was created when a child could lie. Both palaces impressed the best in the world, and each group of spirits worked hard to try to make sure that their own palace was the best. So much and so that the lying spirits, who were much more tricky and sick, sent a group or spirit to the world to get children sell more and more lies. These spirits were successful and started getting many more bricks. As a result, the palace became bigger and more spectacular. One day, something strange happened in Palace of Flies. One of the bricks turned into a cardboard box, and then, a little later, another brick turned into a stand, and then another turned into glass and smashed. So, little by little, it became clear whatever I discovered. A brick was created, changed its form, was pressed, and finally disappeared in this way. The palace of flies became weaker and weaker, and in the end, it completely fell to pieces. At this, everyone, including the lying spirit, understood that you cannot use lies for anything. They are never what they appear to be, and so you never know what they will turn into. Moral of the story: imaginative comparison to explain why you cannot achieve anything worthwhile with lies, because sooner or later the truth will come out and the whole structure collapse also applies to adults. Thank you, judges and teachers. Stay safe and healthy. Let us continue to pray that this pandemic will come to its end. Bye-bye. Mwah. Hi! Greetings to all teachers, judges, and friends who are joining me today in this live stream. I'm Abigail Young from Grade 1 Faith. I hope you all are doing great and are ready to listen to a story that I'm about to share here. It's a story about the Great Palace of Lies. Are you ready? Here the story goes. The Great Palace of Lies by Pedro Pablo Sacristan. Once upon a time, all the spirits set about building two houses. A house of truth and a house of lies. Every time a child told the truth, a brick was created for the house of truth. The spirits of truth would then take it and add it to the growing walls. In just the same way was the palace of lies built. Each brick was created when a child told a lie. Both houses were impressive, the best in the world, and each group of spirits worked hard to try to make sure that their own palace was the best. So much so that the lying spirits, who were much more tricky and deceitful, sent a group of spirits to the world to get children to tell more and more lies. These spirits were successful and started getting many more bricks. As a result, their palace became bigger and more spectacular. But one day, something strange happened in the Palace of Lights. One of the bricks turned into a cardboard box. A little later, another brick turned into sand. And then another turned into glass and smashed. And so, little by little, it became clear that whenever a lie was discovered, the brick that it had created changed its form, was crushed, and finally disappeared. In this way, the House of Lies became weaker and weaker, and in the end, it completely fell to pieces. At this, everyone, including the lion spirits, understood that you can't use lions for anything. They are never what they appear to be, and so you never know what they will turn into. The end. It was a nice story, right? Thank you everyone for your time. It's been my pleasure to share with you. Stay healthy and safe. Goodbye. Good morning everyone. My name is Christina Farista from Grade 1 North. Today I want to tell you a story about The Great Palace of Life by Pedro Pablo Sacristan. Once upon a time, all the spirits set about building two palaces, a palace of truth and a palace of life. Every time a child told the truth, a brick was created for the palace of truth. The spirits of truth would then take it and add it to the growing walls. In just the same way was the palace of life built. Each brick was created when a child told a lie. Both palaces were impressive, the best in the world, and each group of spirits worked hard to try to make sure that their own palace was the best. So much so that the lying spirits, who were much more tricky and deceitful, sent a group of spirits to the world to get children to tell more and more lies. These spirits were successful and started getting many more bricks. As a result, their palace became bigger and more spectacular. But one day, something strange happened in the Palace of Life. One of the bricks turned into a cardboard box. A little later, another brick turned into sand. And then another turned into glass and smashed. And so, little by little, it became clear that whenever a lie was discovered, the brick that it had created changed its form, was crushed, and finally disappeared. In this way, the Palace of Life became weaker and weaker, and in the end, it completely fell to pieces. At this, everyone, including the lying spirits, understood that you cannot use lies for anything. They are never what they appear to be, and so you never know what they will turn into. The end. Thank you.
Okay, that was the performance of Group 1 finalists. And now we're moving to Group 2 top 5 finalists, which consists of grade 4, 5, and 6. First contestant is Kendrick Volney from grade 6 assertiveness. Second contestant is Mary Christianitan from grade 4 idealism. Third contestant is Mirel Angelica from grade 4 courtesy. Fourth contestant is Kyla Christabel Hans from grade 4 courtesy. And the fifth contestant is Alfredo Benedict from grade 6 compassion.
Hi everyone! Now we all are at Language Fest 2021 final round Sekolah Pelita Utama School. Hope we all are at good condition. I am one of the participants of storytelling final round from grade 4 until 6. My name is Kendrick Volney. I am from grade 6 assertiveness. This is my story. Thank God for what you have. This is a story of a peacock and a nightingale who lived in a jungle. The peacock was very happy to have his beautiful colorful body. But one day, he saw a nightingale singing in the tree. He heard her for the first time. He was mesmerized by the voice of the nightingale. The peacock sat down under the tree and listened to the nightingale. But then, some tears start to roll down his face. He gets upset and looked up at the sky and said, "Why God, why you didn't give me a sweet voice?" Just that moment, the nightingale came down from the tree and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? Why are you crying?" The peacock, wiping the tears from his cheeks, looked up at the nightingale and said, "You have the most beautiful voice in the world, and I'm a useless bird. I don't have a sweet voice like you. I wish I had a voice like you." The nightingale said to the peacock, "Oh, brother, you think I'm lucky? But when people listen to my voice and find me a tiny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now think, brother, although I have a sweet voice but not a beautiful body like you, but still daily I sing happily and thank God for giving me a sweet voice." Now the peacock thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about my bad voice, but thank God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, the peacock never complains about his bad voice and live happily. So, Exam. I want to tell a story about thank God for what you have. Let's start. It's a story of a peacock and a nightingale who live in a jungle. The peacock was very happy to have his beautiful, colorful body. But one day, he saw a nightingale singing in the tree. He heard her for the first time. He was mesmerized by the voice of the nightingale. The peacock sat down under the tree and listened to the nightingale. But then, some tears start to roll down her face. He get upset and looked up at the sky and said, "Ah! Why, God? Why you didn't give me the sweet voice?" Just that moment, the nightingale came down from the tree and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? Why are you crying?" The peacock, wiping the tears from his cheek, looked up to the nightingale and said, "You have the most beautiful voice in the world, and I'm a useless bird. I don't have a sweet voice. I wish I had a voice like you." Nightingale said to the peacock, "Oh, brother, you think I am lucky? But when people listen to my voice and find me a tiny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now think, brother, although I have a sweet voice, but not a beautiful body like you, but still daily I sing happily and thank God for giving me a sweet voice." The peacock now thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about my bad voice, but thank God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, the peacock never complained about his voice and lived happily. Moral of the story: we should not complain about what we don't have, but thank God for what we have. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye. Hi, Miss. Hello, Mister. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I hope you all have a wonderful day. My name is Mira Angelica. I am from grade 4 courtesy. Today, I want to tell you all a story about why we should always thank God for what we have. Let's start this story. This is a story of a peacock and a nightingale who lived in a jungle. The peacock was very happy to have his beautiful, colorful body. But one day, he saw a nightingale singing in the trees. He heard her for the first time. He was mesmerized by the voice of the nightingale. "Tip, tip, 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 tip." The peacock sat down under the tree and listened to the nightingale. But then some tears started to roll down his face. He got upset and looked up to the sky and said, "My God, why didn't you give me a sweet voice?" Just then, the nightingale came down from the tree and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? Why are you crying?" The peacock, wiping his tears from his cheek, I don't have a sweet voice. I wish I had a voice like you. The nightingale said, "Ah, brother, you think I am lucky. But when people listen to my voice and find me a tiny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now think, brother, although I have a sweet voice but not a beautiful body like you, but still, daily, I sing happily and thank God for giving me a sweet voice." The peacock now thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about my bad voice, but instead thank God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, the peacock never complained about his bad voice and lived happily. The end. Moral of the story: we should not complain about what we don't have, but thank God for what we have. We should also not compare ourselves to other people because everyone is unique in their own way. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Hello everyone, my name is Kiel from Forecast. Today I'm gonna telling a story about thank God for what you have. This is the story of a peacock and a nightingale who lived in the jungle. The peacock was very happy to have his beautiful colorful body. But one day he saw a nightingale singing in the trees. He heard her for the first time. He was memorized by the voice of the nightingale. The peacock sat down under the trees and listened to the nightingale. But then, some tears started to roll down over her face. He got upset, looked up at the sky and said, "Why, God, why you didn't give me the sweet voice?" Just that moment, the nightingale came down from the trees and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? Why are you crying?" The peacock was wiping the tears in his cheek. He looked up at the nightingale and said, "You have the most beautiful voice in the world, and I'm a useless bird. I don't have a sweet voice. I wish I had a sweet voice like you." The nightingale said to the peacock, "Oh, brother, you think I am lucky? But when people listen to my voice and find me a tiny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now think, brother, although I have a sweet voice, but not a beautiful body like you. But still, daily I sing happily, and thank God for giving me a sweet voice." The peacock now thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about my bad voice, but thank God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, the peacock never complained about his voice and lived happily. The end. Moral of the story: we should not complain about what we don't have, but thank God for what we have. Thank you. Hope you enjoy my story. Bye-bye. Good day, judges. I'm Alfredo Benedict from Grade 6 Compassion. Today I want to tell a story titled Thank God for What You Have. This is the story of a peacock and a nightingale who lived in the jungle. The peacock was very happy to have its beautiful, colorful body. But one day he saw a nightingale singing in the trees. He heard her for the first time. He was mesmerized by the voice of the nightingale. The peacock sat down under the tree and listened to the nightingale. But then Some tears starts to roll down his face. He gets upset and looked up at the sky and said, "Why, God, why didn't you give me a sweet voice?" Just that moment, the nightingale came down from the tree and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? Why are you crying?" The peacock, wiping the tears from his cheeks, looked up at the nightingale and said, "You have the most beautiful voice in the world, and I'm a useless bird. I don't have a sweet voice. Oh, I wish I had the same voice like you." The nightingale said to the peacock, "Oh, brother, you think I'm lucky, but when people listen to my voice and find me a tiny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now think, brother, although I have a sweet voice, but not a beautiful body like you, but still, daily I sing happily, and thank God for giving me a sweet voice." The peacock now thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about my bad voice, but thank God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, the peacock never complains about his voice and lived happily. Moral of the story, we should not complain about what we don't have, but thank God for what we have. Thank you.
Oh, that was a creative and spectacular presentation of our SD students. Now let's move on to our junior high school or SNP finalists, showcase their talents in declamation. Okay, and now first to perform from SMP 9B, Leila Devali Krisnanti.
Vengeance, not ours, it's God's. Alms, 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 spare me a piece of bread, spare me your mercy. I am a child so young, so thin, ragged. Why are you staring at me? With my eyes I cannot see, but I know that you are all staring at me. Why are you whispering to one another? Why? Do you know my mother? Do you know my father? Did you know me 5 years ago? Yes. 5 years of bitterness have passed. I can still remember the vast happiness Mother and I shared with each other. We were very happy indeed. Suddenly, 5 loud knocks were heard on the door. Deep. Did the cruel Nippons discover our peaceful home? Mother went to Father's side, please. Please, Louis, hide in the cellar. They're in the cellar where they cannot find you. I pulled my father's arm, but he did not move. It seemed as though his feet were glued to the floor. Door went bang! And before us, 5 ugly beasts came barging in. Are you Captain Luis Santos? We're the ugliest of them all. Yes, my father. You are under arrest. They pulled father roughly away from us. He was not given a chance to bid us goodbye. Followed them mile after mile. We were so hungry and thirsty. We saw a group of Japanese eating. Oh, how our mouths watered seeing the delicious fruits they were eating. Suddenly, we heard a voice call, Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar! We ran towards the direction of the voice, but it was too late. I saw father hanging on a tree, dead. I cried out, vengeance! Vengeance! Everything went black. The next thing I knew, poor invalid mother. One day, I heard the church bell ringing. Ding dong, ding dong. It was a sign for us to find shelter in our hideout. I could not leave my invalid mother. I tried to show her the way to the hideout. Then suddenly, bombs started falling. Airplanes were roaring overhead. Canyons started firing everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Mother was hit. I took her gently in my arms and cried, I'll have vengeance. Vengeance! No, Oscar. Vengeance, it's God's, said Mother. But I cried out vengeance. I was like a pent-up volcano. Vengeance is mine, not the Lord's. No, Oscar. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's. These were the words from my mother before she died. Mother was dead, and I was blind. To forgive is divine, but vengeance is sweeter. Alms, alms, alms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I am a child so young, so thin, and so ragged. Vengeance, it's not ours. It's God's. It's God's. It's... Thank you.
Wow, excellent performance from Laila Devali. And now for the second participants from SMP 7C, Charlotte.
Good morning, judges. Good morning, teachers. My name is Charlotte from 7C. Today, I'm going to present a declamation with its title, Vengeance is not ours, it's God's. And I hope it will pleases you. Vengeance is not ours, it's God's. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I am a child so young, so thin, and so ragged. Why are you staring at me? With my eyes, I cannot see, but I know that you are all staring at me. Why are you whispering to one another? Why? Do you know my mother? Do you know my father? Did you know me 5 years ago? Yes, 5 years of bitterness have passed. I can can still remember the vast happiness Mother and I have shared with each other. We were very happy indeed. Suddenly, 5 loud knocks were heard on the door, and a deep silence ensued. Oh, did the cruel Nippon discover our peaceful home? Mother ran to Father's side, pleading, "Please, Luis, hide in the cellar. There in the cellar, where they cannot find you." I pulled my father's arm, but he did not move. It seemed as though his feet were glued to the floor. The door went bang, and before us, 5 ugly beasts came barging in. "Are you Captain Luis Santos?" roared the ugliest of them all. "Yes," said my father. "You are under arrest," said one of the beasts. They pulled Father roughly away from us. Father was not given a chance to bid us goodbye. We followed them mile after mile. We were hungry and thirsty. We saw a group of Japanese eating. Oh, how our mouths watered seeing the delicious fruits they were eating. Then suddenly, we heard a voice call, "Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar!" We ran towards the direction of the voice, but it was too late. I saw Father hanging on the tree, dead. Oh, it was terrible. He had been badly beaten before he died. And I cried, "Vengeance! Vengeance! Vengeance!" Everything went black. The next thing I knew, I was nursing my poor invalid mother. Then one day, we heard the church bell ringing. Ding dong, ding dong. It was a sign for us to find a shelter in our hideout. But I could not leave my invalid mother. I tried to show her the way to the hideout. Suddenly, bombs started falling, airplanes were roaring overhead, cannons were firing from everywhere. Boom! 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 Mother was hit. Her legs were shattered to pieces. I took her gently in my arms and cried, "I'll have vengeance. Vengeance!" "No, Oscar. Vengeance, it's God's," said Mother. But I cried out vengeance. I was like a pent-up volcano. "Vengeance, it's mine, not the Lord's." "No, Oscar. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's." These were the words for my mother before she died. Mother was dead, and I was blind. Vengeance is not ours. To forgive is divine, but vengeance is sweeter. That was 5 years ago. 5 years. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child so young, so thin, and so ragged. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's. It's God's. Thank you.
Excellent performance from Charlotte. And now our third contestant is from SMP 7A, Giska Felicia Tam.
Thank you, Mr. Vengeance is not ours. Alms, 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 spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child, so young, so thin, and so ragged. Why are you staring at me? With my eyes I can see, but I know that you're all staring at me. We're whispering to one another. Why? Do you know my mother? Do you know my father? Did you know me 5 years ago? Yes, 5 years witness have passed. I can still remember the past happiness mother and I shared with each other. We were very happy indeed. Suddenly, 5 knocks were heard on the door, and a deep silence ensued. Did the cool Nippons discover our peaceful home? Mother ran to father's side pleading, "Please, Louis, hide in the cellar. They're in the cellar, they cannot find you." I pulled my firearm, but he didn't move. It seemed as thought his feet were glued to the floor. The door went bang, and before us, 5 ugly beasts came barging in. "Are you Captain Luis Santos?" roared the ugliest of them all. "Yes," said my father. "You are under arrest," said one of the beasts. They pulled father roughly away from us. Father not given a chance to bid us goodbye. We followed them mile after mile. We were hungry and thirsty. We saw a group of Japanese eating. Oh, how our mouth watered seeing delicious fruit they were eating. Then suddenly, we heard a voice call, "Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar!" We ran to the direction of the voice, but it was too late. We saw fire hang on tree. That, oh, it was terrible. He'd been badly beaten before he died. And I cried, "Vengeance! Vengeance! Vengeance!" Everything went black. The next thing I knew, I was nursing my poor invalid mother. One day, we heard the church bell ringing. Ding dong, ding dong. It was time for us to find a shelter in our hideout. But I could not leave my invalid mother. I tried to show her the way to the hideout. Suddenly, bombs started falling. Airplanes were roaring overhead. Cannons were firing from everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Mother was hit. Her leg was shattered into pieces. And I cried, "I'll have vengeance, vengeance, vengeance." "No, Oscar, vengeance, it's God," said mother. But I cried out vengeance. I was like a pen of volcano. "Vengeance is mine, not the Lord's." "No, Oscar, vengeance is not ours, it's God." These were the words from my mother before she died. Mother was dead and I was blind. Vengeance, it's not ours. To forgive is divine, but vengeance is sweeter. That was 5 years ago. 5 years. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child, so young, so thin, and so ragged. Vengeance, it's not ours. It's God. It's God. It's. Thank you.
All right, Agiska Felicia Tam. Our fourth contestant is from SMP 9C, is Nesha Sulen Stacy.
Hello, good morning, judges, teachers, and all participants. My name is Nesha Swallen Stacy from grade 9C, and I hope you enjoy my performance of declamation with titles Vengeance is Not Ours, It's God's. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I am a child, so young, so thin, and so ragged. Why are you staring at me? With my eyes, I cannot see, but I know that you are all staring at me. Why are you whispering to one another? Why? Do you know my mother? Do you know my father? Did you know me 5 years ago? Yes, 5 years of bitterness have passed. I can still remember the vast happiness Mother and I share with each other. We were very happy indeed. But suddenly, 5 loud knocks were heard on the door, and a deep silence ensued. Did the cruel Nippons discover our peaceful home? Mother ran to father's side, pleading, "Please, Louis, hide in the cellar. There, in the cellar, where they cannot find you." I pulled my father's arm, but he did not move. It seemed as though his feet were glued to the floor. And the door went bang! And before us, 5 ugly beasts came barging in. "Are you Captain Luis Santos?" roared the ugliest of them all. "Yes," said my father. "You are under arrest," said one of the beasts. They pulled Father Rolly away from us. Father was not given a chance to bid us goodbye. Then we followed them mile after mile. We were hungry and thirsty. Then we saw a group of Japanese eating. Oh, how our mouths watered, seeing the delicious fruits they were eating. Then suddenly, we heard the voice call, "Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar! Consuelo! Oscar!" We ran towards the direction of the voice, but it was too late. We saw Father hanging on a tree, dead. Oh, it was terrible. He had been badly beaten before he died, and I cried, "Vengeance! Vengeance! The next thing I knew, I was nursing my poor, invalid mother. One day, we heard the church bell ringing. Ding dong, ding dong. Wow! It was a sign for us to find a shelter in our hideout. But I could not leave my invalid mother. Then I tried to show her the way to the hideout. Then suddenly, bombs started falling. Airplanes were roaring overhead. Cannons were firing from everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Mother, what's it? I took her gently in my arms and cried, vengeance! Vengeance! No, Oscar. Vengeance. It's God, said Mom. Mother was dead, and I was blind. Vengeance is not ours. To forgive is divine, but vengeance is sweeter. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's. These were the words from my mother before she died. It was 5 years ago. 5 years. Arms. 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 Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child, so young, so thin, and so ragged. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's. It's God's. It's. Once again, good morning and thank you.
A round of applause for Nesha, Sulen, Stacy. And our fifth and last contestant comes from SMP 7A and is Valian K. Taro.
Vengeance is not ours, it's God's. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child so young, so thin, and so ragged. Why are you staring at me? With my eyes, I cannot see, but I know that you're all staring at me. Why are you whispering to another? Why? Do you know my mother? Do you know my father? Did you know me 5 years ago? Yes. 5 years of bitterness have passed. I can still remember the vast happiness mother and I shared with each other. We were very happy indeed. Suddenly, 5 loud knocks were heard on the door, and a deep silence ensued. Did the cruel nippers discover a peaceful home? Mother ran to father's side pleading, "Please, Luis, hide in the cellar. They're in the cellar where they cannot find you." I pulled my father's arms, but he did not move. It seemed as though his feet were glued to the floor. The door went bang! And before us, 5 ugly beasts came barging in. "Are you Captain Luis Santos?" roared the ugliest of them all. "Yes," said my father. "You are under arrest," said one of the beasts. They pulled Father Sophie away from us. Father was not given a chance to bid us goodbye. We followed them mile after mile. We were very hungry and thirsty. We saw a group of Japanese eating. Oh, how our mouth watered seeing delicious foods they were eating. Then suddenly, we heard a voice call. Consuelo, Oscar, Consuelo, Oscar, Consuelo, Oscar. We ran towards the direction of the voice, but it was too late. We saw Father hanging on a tree, dead. Oh, it was terrible. He had been badly beaten before he died. And a cry of vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. Everything went black. The next thing I knew, I was nursing my poor invalid mother. One day, we heard the church bell ringing. Ding, dong, ding, dong. It was a sign for us to find a shelter in our hideout. But I could not leave my invalid mother. I tried to show her the way to the hideout. Suddenly, bombs started falling. Airplanes were roaring overhead. Canyons were firing everywhere. Boom! 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 Mother was hit. Her legs were shattered into pieces. I took her gently in my arms and cried, "Oh, vengeance! Vengeance!" Now, Oscar, vengeance, it's God, said Mother. But I cried vengeance. I was like a pent-up volcano. Vengeance is mine, not the Lord's. No, Oscar, vengeance is not ours, it's God. These were the words for my mother before she died. Mother was dead, and I was blind. Vengeance is not ours? To forgive is divine, but vengeance is sweeter. That was 5 years ago. 5 years. Arms, arms, arms. Spare me a piece of bread. Spare me your mercy. I'm a child so young, so thin, and so ragged. Vengeance is not ours. It's God's. It's God's. It's. Thank you.
All right, what an exemplary performance done by our SMP students. Last but not least is now the speech of our senior high school or SMA finalists in impromptu speaking. First to perform, we have Joan from 11, Mia 2.
How
many of you actually speak the English language? Or must I ask you, how many of you actually understand the English language? Or even, how many of you actually feel like the English language is important? I'll give you some time to think about that. Ask yourself, how many of you feel like it is really important in our society? How many of you feel like you need it? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, judges, and also the audience. My name is Joan from Sekolah Pelita Utama. And today, I'll be talking about a very interesting topic that we all need to hear about. It's about uniting and also strengthening cultural differences through the English language. I feel like in our society, we can see like a lot of people are speaking in the English language, but there's still a lot of the majority feels like, oh, I need to love my country, I need to speak in my own language. I don't blame you for loving your own country, but it's not a reason for you to close yourself and not accepting other cultural differences, right? Like right now, I'm talking to all of you are so different. We're differentiating in a lot of religion, in our ages, and not only that, in our races too. Some of us may be Chinese, Indonesians, or even the judges are Filipinos, right? We have very different culture, which I feel like it should be something that puts us together. And this is where I feel like the English language is very important. We all often hear the English language is the global language, it's the international language, it's something that brings us together. But how many of you actually feel like it really brings us together? We don't really apply it in society. And it's really sad for me to see that because I'm a person who really loves the English language and I feel like the English language can really bring our culture together. Let me give you an example. Like the judges, for example. The judges are from Filipino and I feel like our culture are very different. But during a gathering, you don't expect yourself to be speaking your own language to people who don't understand your language. Imagine how awkward that would be, right? I mean, imagine I'll be sitting in front of someone who is French, who is German, or even someone who is Chinese. I don't expect to be speaking Indonesian. They won't understand what I mean. And this is where the English language comes. I feel like the English language is very important. I should be able to promote my own country and also talk about my culture. And this is where I believe our culture could go together, right? We can see in the society, there are a lot of people who are very different. And you don't expect to speak to them and hope for them to be speaking in your language, right? But it's sad in the society, they still have a thinking of, I should love my own country and I shouldn't speak the English language. Or even you can hear in Indonesia people speaking, you're Indonesian, why are you speaking English? Why are you trying to be British or even American? That's not like you. Then what's like me? I feel like this is myself. And I strongly believe that all of you should start actually feel on how important the English language is because it brings our cultural differences together. You don't expect to be talking to someone, everybody, you need to understand the Indonesian language. I'm Indonesian, I'm superior. No, that's not the case. Okay, you may be listening the word English is the global language, but if you don't apply it in your life, then what's it for, right? This is where I want to persuade all of you. You should start speaking the English language. Why? It's to promote our own culture as well. Because as you can see, in Indonesia, we have a lot of culture, like our food, nasi goreng, nasi padang, and also even our clothes, like batik. This is how we promote our culture too, right? A lot of international or even outsiders, travelers, they come to Indonesia, you don't expect them to speak to you in Indonesian. You don't expect them to come to you and start speaking in a very fluent Indonesian. You don't expect that to happen, right? You need to promote your own culture to them in English too, because English is the global language. You don't expect an American comes to you and, oh, how do you get to there? How do you eat this? How do you get to the hotel? You don't expect them to speak that in Indonesian, because again, English is the international language, it's the global language. Coming back to the topic, this is how you unite and also strengthen your culture differences through the English language. From here, I would like to persuade all of you. I would like to gather all around. This is where we can come together. I'll come together like this. Like right now, I'm talking in English to all of you, and I hope you really do understand what I'm talking about. But if I'm talking in English, if I'm talking in Indonesian language, in what I don't expect all of you to understand, especially the judges, right? The judges would be understanding me in the English language, and through this event too, we can see that English language can come us all together with our cultural differences, with the differences of our races, in our religion. It doesn't matter anymore. And this is where I strongly believe that we should learn the English language, and this is how we unite and strengthen our cultural differences. Thank you.
All right, very inspiring speech from Joa. Next, we're going to move to our second participants, which comes from 10 Mia 1, Elsa Aprilia.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, judges, and good morning to the audience, and of course, my fellow contestants who aren't here right now because they're outside. My name is Elsa from MIA 10-1, and today I am going to talk about the unifying and strengthening of the cultural differences using the English language. As we all know, the English language is the universal language. Every growing country in the world is trying to implement the English language to their people's lives. Let me give an example. Let's say Singapore. Singapore is a country that really implements the English language and is a very prominent language there. Let's say, for example, the English language didn't exist. If the English language wasn't the universal language, what would happen if we got to Singapore? Well, of course, we wouldn't be able to talk to their citizens, and we wouldn't be able to understand anything. Obviously, the English language is very important when it comes to communicating to other people from other countries, and without communication, we wouldn't be able to know anything about cultural differences between countries. We can have a wholesome chat with a citizen from Singapore about how our cultures are different from each other and how our cultures are super interesting. And maybe they'll encourage one another to try each other's cultures. And that's a good thing. Now let's talk about the strengthening of cultural differences. By communicating with other people from other countries with the English language, we can know about the differences between our cultures, and we can talk about the great and bad things about it, thus strengthening our bond with culture and, of course, with the help of the English language. At least that's what I think. Now let's talk about something other than the English language. Let's talk about other languages that aren't as known as English in other countries. Of course, we can learn those languages, but let's just say English is a lot more simpler to learn. For example, English is made of alphabets. Let's compare it to languages like Japanese or Chinese. Chinese and Japanese have their own symbols that they have to learn to understand their language, while English uses a traditional alphabet system, thus making it easier for other countries to learn, especially for non-native speakers. Which is why English is the universal language. And that is also why other countries are really trying hard to make their people learn English because, well, we want to make a good relationship between countries, and we also want to make a good communication with our different cultures that clash together. And sometimes that won't go well because, well, some cultures are very different from each other. But by unifying them using the English language, we can make them respect each other and respect their differences, thus unifying them and strengthening them. That is all for my speech. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
All right, Elsa Aprilia. That's what quite fast. Okay, now let's hear our third speech from 11 IS2, Doreen Renata.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of us are here today to celebrate the language festival, specifically the English language festival. I'm talking in English right now, and I believe quite a few of you may understand me. the judges are from the Philippines. And what language are we using? English. English is a very universal language. We can use it in our daily lives, and a lot of people can understand it. Greetings towards the audience wherever you are, as well as a special thank you towards the judges that has given their time towards this competition. My name is Doreen, and I am a recovered awkward person. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me start off with, we are celebrating this language festival because we acknowledge that English is a language that a lot of people can use, and we can communicate with each other. We know that humans are social beings. Communication is goal. Without communication, then our world would be not as clean. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see that English is uniting and strengthening us. Leaders all around the world learn English. Why? We need democracy, and we need help of other people. For me personally, I have cousins all around the world. I have some in China, I have some in Singapore, and etc. How do I communicate with them? I speak in English. Even with my Indonesian friends that can speak in English, I also speak in English. Why? Because it's a language that I feel comfortable in. This language unites people and strengthens us. Even in business, we will always require to learn English. Why? It's a universal language, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone uses it, and it's very globally known. You may talk to someone that is from China, you may talk to someone from Taiwan, you may talk to someone from Canada, and you may talk to someone from the US. All of them are more likely to speak in English, even though there is a chance that they don't understand it. But again, if you speak in Indonesia, for example, in the US, what is the likely chance of people understanding you? Not very likely. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, all of us have different cultures, such as me, I'm Chindo. Some of you may be Bataknese, some of you may be Javanese, some of you may be Filipino. We learn about each other's culture, and that is totally amazing, actually. Because the English language, we can learn about different cultures all around the world. We can understand and acknowledge one another. We can unite and strengthen each other by this language, ladies and gentlemen. Communications is key, and English language has been known throughout the years to help us unite and strengthen each other. Ladies and gentlemen, English is an essential in our lives. Even in our studies right now in Pelita Utama School, we have two English, national and international. Why do we have it in the first place, ladies and gentlemen? Because, like I said again and again, it's an essential. Everyone understands it, and it's the international language. It helps unite people all around the world. I'm from Indonesia, and most of the judges are from the Philippines. How do we communicate? Throughout the English language. If I didn't understand English, then we won't have communication. We won't know each other, and I won't be given this opportunity to talk about this amazing topic, about this amazing language. But Doreen, does it mean that if I learn in English, I am not culturally acknowledging my own culture? Of course not. English helps us unite and understand other cultures. So we're not just understanding our own culture, but other people's culture. It's called education, ladies and gentlemen. And I strongly believe that with English, we can unite and strengthen many different countries, many different people, and many different things. Therefore, that is all from me. Thank you for your time and attention. God bless.
All right, very clear message from Doreen Renata. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please to remain calm during the presentation of our participants so that they can concentrate on their speech. Thank you. Next, our fourth contestant comes from 11 Mia 2, Charles Eugene.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, fellow participants, teachers, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Eugene, and today I'm going to talk about uniting and strengthening cultural differences through English language. First of all, difference is something that most of people use as a tool for us to hate others, for us to create wars and kill many more people because of these cultural differences. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask first, why are we created different in the first place? We created by God differently because we live in different places. We live in different places in the world because the world is a big place. And as so, with different places, we have different cultures. We have different techniques of what we use to eat, or even what we use when we have daily prayers and many more that cultural differences have. So ladies and gentlemen, uniting and strengthening cultural differences through English language, let us take example from our school itself. We can see that in Indonesia itself, we have lots of the cultural differences. We have from many places, and also from the judges, they are from Philippines. And for us, I am from Indonesia itself. And with these cultural differences, how are we going to communicate with each other for the first time? So communication is very important for us in the first place. While communication is very important, so how are we going to emphasize our feelings and all of things that we need to say from the first place? Of course, it is through English language, as we can see that it is a universal language that everyone can know. Maybe you're from a half part of the world, and also I'm from Indonesia, and with lots of languages, lots of cultural differences, with many more of thinking that maybe cultural differences differentiate us from any other people and we should not be united. But I think that this cultural differences is a very beautiful thing. We need to use cultural differences as a place, as a thing for us to unite and strengthen each other. So by uniting and strengthening cultural differences, for example, in our school, we are having this kind of language festival with English language as a place for us to unite. Because myself, I have different culture, and with the others, we have different culture. By using English language, we also learn to emphasize others. We also learn to truly learn what other cultures really mean. Why do we need difference? Because difference is a very beautiful thing. It is as a place we have difference. We have differentiate people, different personality, different culture, different starters from beings. And also, this is why we need to use these cultural differences and unite and strengthening each other through these cultural differences through our English language, for example, as our universal language. As everyone now, we are learning English language, and this is an opportunity for us to learn more of others' culture and also to respect more of others. And also, this is also as a place for us to learn more of English language, to improve our English language, and also to improve our mindset, to see from others' perspective. Other different cultures, they have different perspective, they have different cultures. And what we need to do as students, for example, is to have language fest like this. So this is a very big opportunity from all over the cuisine, all over the cultures, for us to truly learn of what we need to have through English language. So this is an opportunity for me, myself, and also for every other participants, because we are being educated, and education teaches us about difference. It's very beautiful for us to be different, because every people live in many more of places, and many more of different cultures being, and have many more of different mindset and different point of view. So we as students, we need to have this as an opportunity for us to use, not only to use English language, but also to unite and strengthening, because as we can see, this difference is used as a place for us to hate others. So by using this, we need to start loving each other, start feeling the difference, start seeing from others' perspective, start uniting and also strengthening our own everyone's cultural difference, because we are being in the same world. And that's all for my speech. Thank you very much.
Whoa, on time. All right, Charles. Very good. And now our last finalist comes from 11 Miatu, Alexander Chua.
To the honorable judges, teachers, friends, families, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Now, today and this Language Fest 2021, we have our team equipping oneself through English language. Thus, to our speech today, which is uniting and strengthening cultural difference through English language is very important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, English language is one of the language that we understand with one another. Look at this, 300 plus countries, and we need English as a medium to understand one another. Now, in those 300 countries, we have different cultures, from food, language, and then we have clothes. Example, in Indonesia, we have batik, right? So, how are you going to unite all into one through English language? Now, the best quote for this speech today is, language is a medium to connect with one another, and also unity in diversity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my first point today I would like to talk about is globalization. Now, as you can see, now we are all in a different era. We need to depend on one another, right? So through English language, we can understand more about their culture, they could understand more to our culture, thus resulting in strengthening all of the cultures that we have in the world. Especially in Indonesia. You see, before we only have Indonesia cuisine, but since we understand, okay, we need to use English language so that people could understand with one another, and thus resulting in a new type of food and cultures. Second point I would like to talk about, you see, in those types of era, society 5.0, right, it's more to technology. Now, this one, we need information and communication. Thus, if we have communication between one party to another party, it could increase more understanding or mutual understanding towards one culture to another, thus resulting in a new kind of culture we can strengthen and unite in those kind of diversity. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand that English language is really important. It's a very independent language that we all master. Even though we don't understand their language, for example, in this, I don't understand Filipino, but you understand English, I understand English, we could both result in a communication. And thus, through those communication, we could result in unifying and strengthening the diversity that we have from our school or our countries or our world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever thought how we could unite through language? If you see that we, as a human, okay, we as a human, we have different cultures. So through those kind of communication, we could understand how does those cultures work, and we could strengthen it. So that's very important in this case. Like for example, now, before we don't have batik, so if you understand, okay, we could explain to it where's the origin from, or how is it developed, or how is it good, it will result in a very good place or things, and thus, ladies and gentlemen, it is something that we should understand. Especially in this new era from globalization, we should use English language as a medium to understand from one another. As you can see, example, like in Language Fest 2021, of course, we have different cultures, right? I know that some of you are Chinese, some of you are from Filipinos, some of you are from maybe from Melayu, from Aceh. So from those languages, we need English language as a medium, as an act to understand from one another, and thus from those kind of activities and acts, we can strengthen. We can strengthen and unite, and even we could improve our cultures from our world. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't remain indifferent to this situation, because as the saying goes, through those unity in diversion, you can result in a very comfortable and a very new kind of things that we could never experience before. And through English language, we could understand and deepen our knowledge to those kind of cultures that we haven't learned before. And thus, it could result in a very important or new kind of things in the world. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, This is why English language is very important in unifying and strengthening cultural difference, especially in this new era and in this new modern society. Thank you very much.
Okay, Alexander Chua from 11 Miatu. Okay, that was such an intense and captivating speech delivery from our SMA finalists. And now let us give them a round of applause once again. Everybody did their best. And right now, our judges might have difficulty in. While we are waiting for the results, on behalf of the SPU management, I would like to thank you to all our judges from our partner school, FAU Cavite, Dr. Marcon, Ms. Rayet, Mr. Matthew, Dr. Mirna, and Dr. Harold. I would like to acknowledge the efforts of the different committees of this activity. Their help made this event possible and successful.
Hello po. How's po the judging?
Mahirap, Arnold, ha?
Sorry po.
Hindi. Seriously, I enjoyed. Ang galing naman estudyante.
Oo.
And syempre, super cute yung mga ECE.
Okay
Gusto
po.
ko nang maging teacher ni Rayet.
Ano po yan eh, wala pong training from the teachers, from their parents, most especially the ECE, the grades, primary.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
cute. And grabe, as in, they're so cute.
I-hire mo ng teacher dyan, Sir Arnold, yung parents. Ang gagaling mag-train.
Oo, galing mag-train. Correct.
Apa. Yeah,
Ang
we need,
galing nila. You have very good students. They speak well, ha? Yung impromptu mo na mga bata, they speak well.
okay. Asan na yung camera?
Kasi yung high school.
Ayan, kita na ba ako?
Wala, black ka lang, Arnold.
Hello. Okay. I think,
We can see you now.
okay po. Kita niyo na po yung, okay. I think we're ready for the awarding. Okay? Awarding lang po kami, saglit lang po, Doc.
No worries.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the next part of the program, may I request everyone, parents, participants, students, teachers to come into the hall, to come into the aula. All right. And now this is the moment that we have been waiting for. the announcement of winners. Unfortunately, Ibu Lili cannot be here with us today, so therefore I would call Mr. Maizon, our SPU Director, and Mr. Arnold Kupo, SPU International Coordinator, to come on stage. Okay, may I call Principal of TK Department, Miss Jasmine, to proceed to the stage. Okay, we start from the fifth place of the kindergarten or the TK is Arsen Khalifa Ramadan. He comes from K2 Attentive. Arsen Khalifa Ramadan. Please proceed to the stage. Okay, Arsen, you may be assisted by your parents, mommy or daddy. Okay. Okay, here is Arsen Khalifa Ramadan from K2 Attentive. He's on the 5th place. Congratulations to Arsen Khalifa Ramadan. Okay, we have a photo session for a while. Congratulations once again to Arsen Khalifa Ramadan. Next, on the 4th place, we have J. Ron Hudson Hu from K2 Brave. J. Ron Hudson Hu, you may proceed to the stage with your parents. All right, J. Ron Hudson Hu, he's from K2 Brave. Congratulations to J. Ron. Okay, let's stay a while for a photo session. Okay. Okay, congratulations once again to J. Ron Hudson Hu from K2 Brave for being the 4th place in this Language Fest final. Next, on the 3rd place, we have Jason Tan from K2 Confident. Jason Tan. Okay, be careful with the steps. Okay, this is Jason Tan from K2 Confident, and he is on the 3rd place in this Language Fest finalists. Thank you, Jason Tan. Okay. Okay, next, our second place winner is Leonardo Tan from K2 Determined. Okay, Leonardo. Okay, congratulations to Leonardo. Okay, let's have a photo session for a while. All right. Once again, congratulations to Leonardo Tan. And now our first winner of this Language Fest from kindergarten goes to Dominic Maraville. Dominic Maraville. Yeah. Okay, Dominic Maraville comes from K2 Attentive. Congratulations once again to Dominic Maraville. Okay, now we're going to proceed to SD from grade 1 to 3. The storytelling. May I call the principals of SD, Miss Sinta, to proceed to the stage. Okay. From the fifth place of the storytelling goes to Christina Farista from grade 1 Love. Okay, Christina Farista, she's grade 1 Love, and she's in the 5th place of this storytelling contest. Okay. Okay, congratulations once again to Christina Farista from grade 1 Love. Next, our 4th place goes to Akila Faranisa Prasetyo from grade 2 Honesty. Akila Faranisa Prasetyo. Okay, for the advisor, please proceed to the stage to represent for Aquila. Okay, please for Miss Diana, please proceed to the stage to represent for Aquila Faranisa Prasetyo. Okay, since Aquila is not available right now, so it will be represented by Miss Diana. Yeah. Congratulations once again. Okay, thank you once again for Miss Diana for representing Aquila Faranisa Prasetyo. Next, for the third place of storytelling goes to Matthew Ng from Grade 1 Hope. Matthew Ng from Grade 1 Hope. You might accompanied by your mom. Okay, here is Matthew Ng from Grade 1 Hope, and he's on the third place in this storytelling contest. Okay, Matthew, congratulations for being in the third place. Okay, congratulations once again to Matthew Ng from Grade 1 Hope. Next, for the second place of this storytelling goes to Abigail Young from Grade 1 Faith. Abigail Young. Abigail. There she goes. Okay, Abigail Young, congratulations once again for being the second place in storytelling. Congratulations for Abigail. And now the first place of this storytelling goes to, of course you might already know by now, Juan Mars from Grade 1 Courage. There you go, this is Juan. Congratulations, Juan. Okay, give them best smile. Okay, once again, congratulations for Juan Mars for being the first place in the storytelling. Okay, that's what for SD grade 1 until 3. And now we're moving into SD grade 4 until 6. Okay, for the participants of grade 4 until 6, please be prepared. Okay, we'll start from the 5th place of this storytelling. Goes to Kendrick Volney from grade 6 assertiveness. Kendrick Volney. Okay. Kendrick Volney, assisted by mom. Congratulations to Kendrick Volney for being the 5th place in the storytelling. Okay, congratulations to Kendrick Volney from grade 6 assertiveness. Okay, may I remain to the audience in the studio to follow the protocol to keep the distance with others. Okay? Okay, now we're moving on into the 4th place of this storytelling. And now it goes to Mary Christiani Tan from grade 4 idealism. Congratulations for Mary Christiani Tan. Okay. Once again, congratulations to Mary. Now we're moving to the 3rd place in this storytelling. The 3rd place of this storytelling goes to Alfredo Benedict from grade 6 compassion. Alfredo Benedict. Congratulations to Alfredo Benedict. Okay, congratulations once again to Alfred Benedict. And now we're moving to the 2nd place. 2nd place of storytelling contest goes to Kayla Christabel Hans from grade 4 courtesy. Kayla Christabel. Congratulations once again to Kayla Christabel Hans. All right. Congratulations, Kayla. Okay, and now we are moving to the first winner of this storytelling competitions. This is really hard for me because you already know that it's not comes to surprise again. The first winner of this storytelling competition goes to Mirel Angelica from Great Poor Courtesy. Mirel Angelica. First winner. If okay, it can. Okay, the supervisor, the homeroom advisor of Mirel Angelica may proceed to the stages to represent her. Mr. Andy, may I call on Mr. Andy to represent for Mirel Angelica? Congratulations, Mr. Andy, for representing her. Okay, once again, congratulations to Mr. Andy. Thank you for Miss Sinta. And now we're going to move to Declamation SMP. And may I call on Miss Siti come to the stage. Okay. Now, the fifth place of this Declamation SMP goes to Agiska Felicia Tam from SMP 7A. Agiska Felicia Tam. Okay, congratulations once again to Agiska Felicia Tam from 7A. And now we're going to go for the fourth place in this declamation. And now it goes to Leila Devali Krisnanti from D. Leila Devali. Congratulations again for Leila for being in the fourth place in this declamation. Okay. You best smile. Okay. Congratulations, Leila, in the fourth place in this declamation. Now, the third place of this declamation goes to Valian Keitaro from SMP 7A. Okay, congratulations for Valian Keitaro for being in the third place in this declamations. Okay. Congratulations, Keitaro. Who knows, one day he'll be an actor. Okay, now the place in declamation goes to Charlotte from 7C. Congratulations for Charlotte for being the second place winner in this declamation. All right. Okay, and of course the first winner goes to Neisha Sulen Stacy from Stein C. Okay, everybody a winner today. Congratulations to Neisha. Okay, congratulations for Neisha. And thank you to Miss City as well. Okay, now we're going to move to SMA for the impromptu speech. May I call the principal of SMA, Miss Sri. Okay, we have impromptu speaking, and all of them are the best. Okay, the fifth place of the impromptu speaking goes to Charles Eugene from 11 Mia 2. All right, Charles, congratulations. Yeah. Okay, congratulations, Charles, for being the fifth place in this impromptu speech. Next, moving to the fourth place in this impromptu speech, and now it goes to Elsa Aprilia from 10 Mia 1. For the fourth place of impromptu speech. Okay, now we are moving to the third place of the impromptu speech. And now it goes to Joan 11 Mia 2. Okay, congratulations once again to Joan for being in the third place of the impromptu speech. Now for the last two, may I call both of them to be on the stage at the same time for Doreen Renata and Alexander Chua to come on the stage together for the last two contestants. Okay. I will announce first the second place of the impromptu speech winner. And it goes to... This is very hard. Second place to speech goes to Doreen Renata, 11 IS2, which automatically make Alexander De Chua the first winner of this impromptu speech. Okay, congratulations to Doreen for being the second winner. And now Alexander. He is the winner of the first prize of this impromptu speech from 11 Mia to Alexander the Great. All right. Once again, congratulations to Alex for being the first winner in this impromptu. Thank you, Miss Ree, and thank you for all the participants. Okay, so that concludes our events for today. I would like to thank Ibu Lily, Mr. Maison, and Mr. Arnold, and to all principals. That ends our program. Once again, thank you for everyone who has participated in this event and watched this event. Congratulations to all. Until then, until next year, I'll see you in the next year in the Language Fest 2022. Keep safe and stay healthy. Take care and bye-bye.
Okay, hello po, I'm back. Maraming salamat po. Miss Dr. Mirna, Dr. Harold, Dr. Marcon, Mr. Matthew, Miss Riet. So, thank you very much po for your time. And next year po ulit. And we are waiting for you here in SPU, hopefully by next year. So, hopefully the pandemic will end so that we can meet here in SPU. So we are all waiting for you here, most especially Ibu Lily. Actually, today is Ibu Lily's birthday. Yeah, November 2. It's also the founding anniversary of Sekolah Pelita Utama. So, would you like to say something on behalf again of Ibu Lily and the SPU community? Thank you very much. Papadala na lang daw po namin yung regalo. Or pagpunta namin dyan, we will bring all the gifts. Marami pa kaming utang sa inyo. So, hopefully next year, we plan to go there after, maybe by May or June or July, hopefully. So,
Thank you, Arnold. It's an honor to be part of your celebration. Okay, hope to see you also face to face soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye po. Thank you very much po. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you everyone. Paeka, thank you very much. Mr. Arif, Mr. Andy, Mr. Teo, Mr. Eko, Mr. Z, all the principals, Pamaison, Miss Vivid, all the teachers, expats, teachers, thank you. Okay, so thank you